The collegiate clash starts now. Let's head into Haven with your casters, Lemon Kiwi and Marks.
Thanks so much, Sierra. Yeah, Maryville hold the collegiate trophy, but Winthrop stand in their path to playoffs and their only shot at Ascension, Marks.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I mean, I feel like the Dust did an excellent job at setting up the kind of rivalry between these two teams. And once again, Maryville University coming into this one, you're feeling nice and confident. You've already beat these guys at the CVAL championships. It's going to be just another day at the office. But Winthrop University has really been having a resurgence as of late. And if you think about it, the last time these two teams faced each other on Haven during that championship final, well, the two players who are no longer on Winthrop University were the bottom scorers on the team. And so one might make the argument that maybe bringing in Governor, bringing in Glyph, we can see a little bit of different results here. So I'm really excited to see how this one is going to shake out, because this collegiate clash is just getting started.
Oh, yeah, it is. Look at already the first blood from Winthrop, just walking it down the sea, walking Maryville already like a dog, but the aftershock will get moves nice and humble and out of that nook. So some movement, but not enough dislodging from Maryville. They'll explore the options, and Giza is going to open that up towards the B site. It's going to be watching the left, crosses before watching. Maryville going to cover their bases. Infiltrator still looking for his one taps Ange, and Giza is going to collapse on this final player within the site. That means a plant could go down, but on the backside, it's moves.
One enemy remaining.
Ooh, Glyph with an excellent pick onto Giza, and suddenly it's just Wildfire in this 1v2. Still has the spike though, looking for an opportunity, but Moobs shuts that one down. And so Winthrop University, they will take that pistol. And honestly, all things considered, I liked the way that they were playing that composition. They were more interested in pushing things out, go for that fight really early on, step just out of the range of what Wildfire's utility was trying to do, what that breach wanted to stun you up. And as a result, they were rewarded with all the kills. It wasn't until Giza kind of went on a little bit of a run just on B that things started to swing back in Maryville's favor. But regardless, it's got to feel good if you're Winthrop.
Yeah, that came down to the last people in that round, and this is a force too from Maryville. A couple of stingers being bought. Infiltrator even has the Outlaw walking down a long. So you got trips over in Garage and at B main, or at C long, I should say, with even the cameras. Glyph going to be spotted, tried to dodge the flash, and then Renz has already snuck up into this back line. Maryville have smokes in place, but I don't know how much you're going to be able to hold back this flood of Winthrop, who are around the corner waiting for that setup, maybe from Infiltrator. The smokes could go down. He's looking for that pick with the Outlaw, but it's not going to be given much vision or any signs of life. The flashing from Infiltrator. So hard to try and, well, infiltrate exactly with that weapon. So Maryville go toe-to-toe, 2 versus 1, and Renz closes out the round.
Yeah, a little bit of a surprise. What's up? We got Stingers. Weren't expecting this one, but we're also seeing a little bit more of that discipline that we expect to see from Maryville University. We talked about how they play around Renz. It's a little bit more coordinated, a little bit less kind of send them in and try and hope for the best, but the team works well together. And I feel like that round was an excellent display of their teamwork, just kind of flooding in onto the site. I mean, Glyph did not stand a chance with the amount of pressure that just kind of flew through. They were looking like a tactical SWAT unit just swarming in onto C. So an excellent job for Maryville to shut down that second round. And now Winthrop, I mean, they're on this very bizarre buy, as Ali does have a Vandal in hand, but the rest of them are just kind of slumming it, with Infiltrator only having a Bucky here, and already a little bit of discretion being mitigated by Maryville University. Right now, they're playing this one a bit more slow. They're trying to wait out this utility, understanding that this could be a Winthrop round to go a bit more aggressive, but that is going to be the Vandal dropped. Moobs should be able to secure it after that smoke comes down.
Yeah, Maryville just upping their awareness too at the C-Long area, where Winthrop were just so aggressive in the pistol round around that area. So Maryville definitely slowing things down to a more spread out default. Like, look how deep even Chloric is, looking for a brawl with the Stinger at A, or even just to kind of sell a fake over in that area. He'll be going up against Infiltrator with the Bucky, so I don't assume that's going to go well for Chloric. And the Spike's not going to see much at C, but wait, Chloric sneaks up on Infiltrator. My bad on the caster curse. And Maryville now rotate over. No cutoffs from Winthrop are coming, and this round is sealed for Maryville.
Yeah, Winthrop looking like they had a couple of ants in their pants that time around. Just got a little bit too gung-ho about moving things in, and you know, that was exactly what Maryville were hoping to do. We get to see Glyph walk away with a couple of kills at the end there, but it was ultimately the patience from Maryville that round, kind of baiting Winthrop University to push out, and then just excellent timings being sought out. I mean, yeah, once again, you pointed it out. Cloric was already on that A site, and Infiltrator was still holding the angle with the shotgun, just waiting for someone to come. Honestly, Maryville didn't even make their way onto the site, and the round was pretty much over. Just the overextensions from Winthrop University on that bargain buy didn't really... Well, sorry, they got punished with how that round went. So this is going to be the proper rifle round. Giza the only one who still will have this stinger, and already it's a very good start for Maryville.
Yeah, just another first blood goes Renz's way. We're talking about the difference between those two duelists, and Renz will take his time to give themselves the best chance in these rounds. And when it rains, it pours. Winthrop have not been able to withstand Maryville, and this is about to be 3 in a row with 4 rifles carried over.
And it's just based on that very simple execute that we're seeing Maryville kind of go for. Sure, the breach, you know, debatable on whether or not that is the best pick here, but the fault lines and flashes have been excellent to kind of support the Maryville push up. And sure, you see Winthrop University really just crumbling under the pressure of a lot of that utility being tossed their way, and they don't necessarily have the firepower to fight back because sure, I mean, you know, you expect to see some of that utility. Oh, maybe it's a fake, all that type of stuff. But no, it's Maryville more or less running at you. And they've got quite a few members pushing forwards at the exact same time, making sure to win out the numbers advantage. So honestly, these have just been squeaky clean rounds coming out from Maryville University thus far. Winthrop University, they're going to have to really try to play this a bit more coordinated because right now, Maryville, they're looking sharp as ever.
Moves is looking dead as ever too, just not able to save the gun at the end, and very poor on the side of Winthrop. So this is just going to get even worse or even better, depending on who you're a fan of this time for Maryville. It's just kind of funny looking at our duelists and seeing how we talked about Infiltrator being so aggressive, that explosive type of duelist, and you would think that the Neon almost would suit him better, but he's been trying to set himself up. He's flashing in, they're coordinating, but so far putting too much of a dent into Maryville. Speaking of who has an impact, though, Renz with back-to-back first bloods. He's looking for action over at A main, and Governor's going to respect it. You got a ton of sheriffs on the defense.
Yeah, now they're all playing nice and grouped up, so trying to find an opportunity, find a timing on an overextension from Maryville University. But look at this. I mean, this is the exact same playbook that we saw Maryville use when Winthrop University were on a save last time. Just play as patient as ever. Finally, someone actually picks up the spike, but let's just wait for them to extend themselves out. And you know that Winthrop are going to be looking for these flank opportunities. They try to rely a little bit more on that backstab, a little bit more on that catch people off guard and out of position type of style. And it feels like Maryville are just aware of that. They're very cautious about watching all of the angles properly. And Cloric is going to be playing that flank. Not usually your Sova, who's the initiator to try and move in onto this one, but Moves actually wins out that gunfight, but can at least confirm that nothing else is going on.
All right, Kill Contract's going to buy some time here for the defense, but on the flank, I'm looking at Glyph. He could get the timing on Ange, and this could really break down Maryville before they get going. Now the clone does get shot. Surely Glyph finds this kill that he's been hunting for all round and seals the deal for the defense. And to try and get into heaven, to get the upper hand and the upper angle on Giza, but the plan is the only thing he'll be able to get down. Oh, actually not even that. So a thrifty from Winthrop.
And honestly, that all came down to Moobs being able to find that first pick on Cloric all the way down onto C. You see, as soon as the pick comes through, Maryville, they have to initiate onto A. And it felt like Winthrop were kind of expecting this. Immediately, the kill contract comes out. We see themselves get set up, ready to disrupt any sort of push. And Maryville University, they walk right into the trap without honestly being too aware of it. And I think that that is one of the issues if you're going to have Cloric continue to play that flank on the other side.
Oh, can't flank those. It's a good banger, the first blood, a good off fire. How long can you hold it? Hands looking shaky. Cloric disrupting everything in the back. a double kill. But wait, the response, the Governor and Winthrop still have a round.
I have the spike.
And it's Cloric with the spike. Hey, he, well, will have the site, but you're not feeling secure at all. And a drone
Only
up.
really has the recon drone available too, so the head gets spotted out, which is extremely unfortunate.
Whose haircut is that? Only belongs to the GOAT. The IGL back in the lineup to try and salvage this round. 1v2. After just such a good Hunter's Fury, Cloric killed so many, but now has to pick up the pieces. I was worried about Garage, but at this point, you're only one. You have to pick one angle. Glyph, the isolated 1v1, dances against Governor. Welcome back to Challengers. Cloric has some cover, but is so hesitant. He has time to play with. 24 seconds left. You can't change sight. You can't change your mind. But Governor, oh, the shock to get Cloric down to 83. Will escape down to main, and Governor just can at least check. Is he still within the sight? No, you know he can't. Couldn't have crossed into Garage. So Governor trying to push down this site. Cloric doesn't even have to peek. He has recon. He has a drone. And he's able to make sure that no one's touching the spike. This is so much good time in favor of Cloric. Governor has to get aggressive. He's been pinged. Cloric 1v2 clutch opportunity. And he just has to play his life. He doesn't even need the kill at this point. And he still secures it. The 4K in the clutch for Maryville.
The amount of neurons that were just firing off in that final matchup there between the two Sovas. Obviously, Governor coming back in to this tier 2 scene, and honestly, it was so explosive just off the bat here, and it was all because of these Hunter's Furies finding 2 kills apiece, if I'm correct. But still, it just comes down to that 1v1. A bit of an overextension from Glyph. Unfortunately, Governor was not ready for that trade, which made it to this 1v1 situation, and then Cloric just played this one beautifully. Once again, no more shock bolts or anything left over, but still made that one work. To just played the brain game, just played the stall game, and Governor goes down at the very last second.
Okay, a lot of first bloods go in favor of Maryville, but not without a trade. And can't underestimate what Winthrop can do with those sheriffs. I mean, they've already gotten the Thrifty under their belt. You still have Glyph, 13 HP in a dream, hoping to get some fun timing against Cloric, but Maryville are patrolling their spawn a lot more. They're adapting to these Winthrop flanks. There's also a 2-man walk down from the A side, and this could open up the flank from the C side. But meanwhile, Maryville gonna waste no time getting the C plant down, and Cloric is gonna shut down the flank 1v2 style. That was nasty.
This is so bizarre, man. The fact that it's the Sova on the flank watch. And on top of that, too, like, Cloric is really making it work. On the flip side, though, for Winthrop University, it is really interesting to me because when you look at this squad, one of the things I remember from Winthrop University was how good Moobs was on this flank. Moobs, just the knife in the back, consistently finding value, finding kills for Winthrop University previously, but it feels like this role is kind of swapped around a little bit more. Moobs more playing that very hard anchor role, and Glyph the one who is kind of exploring a bit. And Glyph has been kind of getting diffed by Cloric currently. I mean, Cloric, the flanking Sova, has been doing an excellent job at keeping a lot of this flank pressure in check. And so it is unconventional, in my opinion. You would want the Sova to use a lot of that utility for the engagement onto the site, but Cloric just found a 3 kill. And honestly, if you're making results, you can't really question the method.
Okay, give Mans a gun, though, and I swear Glyph will pop off. And just wait, okay? Winthrop actually have a buy, but you need to try and stabilize yourself in the economy. This is, I think, a pretty important win for Winthrop to try and take. And at what point do you stop just going for so much mid control? I mean, Winthrop has tried to stand back. They've gotten picked by Renz both at A main and C main. So Winthrop are just trying to throw everything at Maryville and see what sticks. And Maryville are sticking to this A push, and Governor's gonna try and respect it. The Rolling Thunder is gonna dislodge Winthrop. They're on the other side of smokes. Glyph is trying to pressure back. Governor tries to spot the TP, and it's just a bloodbath with Winthrop really holding things back. And it's because of those quick rotations from the duelists. And look at that backup with the trust that they have in each other. But Infiltrator needs more than trust. He needs a Band-Aid, and it's, well, I guess Katniss Everdeen, Chloric the GOAT, that closes out the round.
You can see the panic coming in from Infiltrator, like, wait a second, Shock Bolt, get me out of here, but unfortunately couldn't hit the TP fast enough with the Shock Bolt just landing there. And Chloric cleans up that kill. It is a brawl, and Frank, like, the only times we see Winthrop University potentially be able to contest Maryville University is when we get into these brawly types of situations, when things tend to get a little bit more chaotic. If they can outlast a lot of that initial engage utility, then we see Winthrop University play a lot more coordinated and together. This time around, it is going to be this push-up from Infiltrator alongside Governor here, but Chloric will be spotting that out. And Winthrop University, they're not able to actually take Chloric out. That is an unbelievable flank.
Yeah, Winthrop have tried to change up their A defense, but Maryville just stomped through the ground. They're on a 3 streak. But let's let this flank cook a bit. Chloric, can he really be flawless? He is. Ali just didn't think someone was going to be all the way back here checking the flank. Chloric has been in spawn. You just have to expect that Maryville are going to have a strong anchor. It's not going to be the person you expect. And the rest is history for Maryville. Barely gonna drop anyone. Glyph can steal away a rifle and play the mind games to see if he can live on through this round.
That's not looking very possible. To be fair, Wildfire and Chloric are pretty low. At this point, you just want to do a little bit more economic damage, but Maryville have just kind of strung so many rounds in a row that even then, it's just a consolation prize to how this round went out. And of course, it is Chloric to find that last kill. I mean, Chloric's just been doing it all. Like, the amount of times that Chloric has found members of Winthrop University thinking they can just walk in for free, thinking they can just set up this flank and just immediately getting shut down, just like Ali did right there. It's been unreal. Like, this is a crazy performance for Chloric, coming in right now with 15 kills. The next highest in the lobby is Giza with 8. A lot of ultimates back online for Maryville University. Winthrop going to be investing in that operator. Infiltrators leading with only 7 kills. Still hasn't really come online in the way that we would have expected him to. But with this operator, might be able to find some of these more longer range shots, hopefully shutting things down as the Maryville train makes its way over to this B site.
Yeah, I think Winthrop just have to hold their angles, hold their lanes, and got the perfect setup to do it. Don't overcook. Of course, the attackers lockdown is going to try and zone off B, but Ali should still be in a position once the smoke dissipates, so he can pick off Maryville going in, and that smoke will unobscure the plant, but Winthrop just kind of hanging on by. I think Glyph could have even saved that weapon last time, but here's the kill contract to remove Wildfire. A lot of utility now gone as Winthrop collapsed from both sides, and Wildfire shows Ali how it's done. Another first blood goes Maryville's way, but not before Infiltrator tries to even up the odds. And now with that cage in place, too, from moves, you're going to try and touch the spike, get the attention of Maryville, and I don't think you wanted the smoke from Chloric. How does he keep converting those? He is on one today. Welcome back to Chloric.
I think that's now 3 rounds in a row where we've seen Chloric get a triple kill, which is kind of unbelievable if you think about it. Obviously, excellent coordination to call out when to use the Hunter's Fury there. And I think that Winthrop University, off of that kill contract, were just a little bit too slow, in my opinion, because they should have moved in there to make sure to try and secure that if Ali loses that duel, they can at least punish there. And instead, they just kind of get grouped up, and well, Chloric walks away with 2 kills off of a Hunter's Fury, something that honestly most teams just use as a stall tactic once that spike goes down. But Moobs getting heavily pressured this time, understands where a lot of this is going. But they got to start making these rounds happen quickly, because right now Maryville are really running away with this.
Every first kill goes Maryville's way, and Winthrop are going to cook up a flank yet again. This time it's Ali. Meanwhile, Maryville just run things down from front to back. Winthrop on their backs and not a chance. But wait, a 2 versus 2. The element of mystery. Ali sneaks up on Ange. And now it's the Hunter's Fury that kind of kindles the fire here. You have Ali trying to combine with Governor, and Governor just didn't get a move on fast enough. 4 HP. Cloric manages to win his 1v1 that should have even been a 1v1. Now it's Governor left to pick up the pieces with the Guardian. He's revealed his tracks, and he's just getting spammed through the smoke, and he doesn't know what to do against them. Does get a chance to reposition, but jeez. Oh, Winthrop could have won that.
Honestly, and somehow Cloric still alive in the midst of all of this. Looking the wrong way there. Should have spotted at least one out. So now it's down to these Silvas yet again. Governor looking for a redemption round.
I thought that Omen was going to spot Governor in the corner there, but Cloric, the C stands for clutch, and it's 9-2 for Maryville. You just need that pop-off player from the side of Winthrop, and usually we've talked about that being Infiltrator, at least on different duelists, ones where he could be fast and loose and solo, but he's trying to set up the team. Winthrop are trying to go back to defaults, but aren't getting these early rounds in their favor at all.
No, not at all. And I wanted to point out a pretty interesting thing I noticed on this one. Okay, we're zooming in. Cloric 4 HP and still is able to win this out. A single bullet from like a classic would have been more than enough, but it's kind of crazy because that time around, Cloric was with the rest of the team, and as soon as Winthrop University recognized that, they're able to get that flank online, and it works out so much better for them.
Out for Winthrop to dodge the Rolling Thunder, didn't make contact with anyone. Glyph manages to teleport out in time. Dimensional Drift with an op. It's going to be interesting. Maybe trying to go down to C main as Winthrop use the chaos in their favor, trying to pinch Winthrop from all sides. Here's the op in position in main. Did get clipped. Wildfire's going to finish off what he started, and it's the turret from the Killjoy that clips Infiltrator coming back. So interesting round that broke down, but Maryville just kind of reacted and countered that much better to the setup.
I'm sorry, but like, what am I watching coming out from Winthrop University? Like, I've seen this team do amazing things, and to see some of these mistakes, I don't know what else to call them right now, kind of come together with how disconnected everything really feels. It feels almost sloppy with their initiation into it. And I think that this is, yes, Maryville are playing a very rehearsed game. They're playing extremely well. Let's do Infiltrator dirty by showing that in the slow-mo. But it's so crazy to see that Winthrop University, it feels like that pressure is honestly really getting to them. And they're just kind of falling apart. Like, they look like a team that is just so scrappy right now, but not coordinating anything to make plays happen. They're just kind of all going with carry syndrome, trying to hope for a multi-kill or something like that, and all of these weird angles, and they've just kind of lost the script with how that half went. It's 2-10 now. Like, Winthrop University, they need to win this round, and they've already lost Ali.
Hey, no one checking the corner. Winthrop, what's going on? You're entering B without looking left, looking right, no recon, no friends, no hope. Maryville almost getting a flawless. Giza with 3. This is Winthrop, just an uncharacteristic, unconfident game out of them. Just things from Glyph that could have saved the rifle, then could have killed Wildfire in that one round, then got caught on rotations, to Winthrop not checking the most obvious corners, to Infiltrator not hitting those shots with the op that we're used to him getting every single time. So just definitely some slip-ups on the Winthrop side that we're not used to.
Yeah, and once again, it's extremely uncharacteristic from them. I mean, when we saw them in stage 2 and how dominant they've played even in stage 3 thus far, like, this by far is one of their worst performances that I've kind of seen, which is uncharacteristic. And, you know, at a certain point, you have to ask yourself, like, you know, maybe we take a look at the next map, because Ange just finds a 3K with a judge around the corner. It's not looking good right now. The spike is down, moves just on the other side of Ren's, watching from this window. And yeah, suddenly Governor down to a 1v3, does have this Marshall, but you know, you got to reset the mental. You got to look forwards towards sunset, because this has not been looking good from Winthrop.
Yeah, doing a lot of studying, but not on the judge purchase that can come out of Maryville, especially in Garage. It's Winthrop having a really tough time just pushing these choke points and maybe wishing they had a breach to just be able to explode into these small areas and be able to out counter pressure Maryville. And it's that lack of pressure that we're not really seeing. And when you operate around the double duelist, you're looking for frag power. If you don't have the bells and whistles and the utility, you got to shoot better. And we're not really seeing that. Even Allie's losing kill contracts. Not to shade anyone in particular, kind of just did, but like Winthrop just, I guess, is no warm-up map for them.
I mean, honestly, yeah, it must be because, you know, we're used to seeing that confident Winthrop playstyle where they can kind of send their individual players out there and just count on them to find some of these clutch kills. And they've been getting shut down time and time again, which makes it so much more difficult to try and execute these. And so they're kind of changing up the playbook here to try and mitigate some of it, and yet they're still kind of getting diffed by Chloric and the rest of the team. Like, it's unbelievable how different this team looks. That's going to be the end of the map. A very fast 13-2.
It was Maryville's pick, and yeah, they showed us just how prepared they were.